Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to online classes of Iqra Hufaz Boys Secondary Schools and Colleges, our project of Iqra Education System. My dear brothers, in the last video lectures, we have already covered some topics of translation. This is part 5 in the series of translation. We have already discussed types and kinds of sentence. Then I explained and exemplified you simple sentences and then compound sentences. Today in this video lecture, we are going to discuss passive sentences. Let's take a review of active and passive voice first. As you know, active and passive sentences have a certain formula. The formula is written before you on the board here. For the active sentence, subject comes first, then verb comes, then comes object, and if there is any additional information, we use it in the end of the sentence. While converting that sentence into passive voice, we bring the object at the beginning. Although this is not an object, we are calling it object here. It becomes subject of the passive sentence. But for your understanding, I have written here the object of the active sentence comes at the beginning of the passive sentence. Then we use verb, and then we use by as an agent, and after by we use subject of the active voice as the object of the passive voice. But here I have written subject as it is for your understanding. And then as there is some information given in the end of the sentence in active sentence, we use that additional information as it is in the end of the sentence in passive voice too. I have also explained to you the rules of passive voice. There are 5 rules of passive voice. First of all, we do parsing. What is parsing? I have already explained you in a separate individual lecture on the voices. Probably that was lecture number either 4 or 5. I don't exactly remember. But if you go back, you will retrieve it in your list of videos of this series. So the parsing means identifying subject, verb and object in a sentence, which means subject, doer of action, and object, receiver of action. When you identify subject, verb and object, all these 3 elements of sentence individually, then you can do the second rule. You can apply the second rule on that sentence, that is cross technique, which means bringing subject at the position of object in the passive voice and bringing active object at the position of passive subject. So this is called cross technique. We have already in detail discussed this thing in the previous lectures. Then rule number 3, we use auxiliary verb. I gave you the auxiliary verb of every tense, that we use some certain auxiliary verbs in passive voice which are different from the auxiliary verb of the active voice. Then rule number 4, we always use past participle form of main verb, which means third form of main verb. Then rule number 5, we use by as an agent before object of the passive voice, which means the doer. Then I told you the 4 reasons that why we use passive voice. Reason number 1, when doer is understood, doer of action is understood. For example, when we say people eat mango in summer season, it is understood people eat mango. So we won't be using active voice for that. We use passive sentence. Mangoes are eaten in summer season. Then reason number 2, when the doer of action is unimportant. If I say people are chanting slogans against government, it is unimportant to say that people are chanting slogans. What is more important? That slogans are being chanted against the government. Then reason number 3, when the doer of action is unknown, as I exemplified you in that lecture of voices. Somebody has stolen my bike. It is unknown that who has stolen, so we use passive voice for that sentence. My car or my bike has been stolen. Who? Unknown. And reason number 4, when the doer of action is hidden Here hidden means when a speaker wants to hide the doer of action. For example, if I say that I saw you in the market yesterday, but I want to hide that who saw you, then I will say you were seen in the market yesterday. I hope you have clearly understood and you have taken a review of rules and reasons of passive voice, and you have gone through the formula of passive voice also. Let's go through the sentences of passive voice and translate them from Urdu to English. Before we further go ahead and translate passive sentences from Urdu to English, I would like to remind you 4 points to consider while translating a sentence from Urdu to English. On your left hand side on the board you can see there are 4 points written which are to be considered while translating a sentence. Number 1, identify the tense. Number 2, identify the case, either it is affirmative, negative or interrogative. Point number 3, apply the rules of that particular tense. And point number 4, translate the sentence. So we start from the sentence number 1 here on the board. हम मैदान में क्रिकेट खेलते हैं. If we identify the tense, this is present simple, and when we identify the case, this is affirmative case. Present simple in affirmative case. Then apply the rules of present simple. We use present form of verb. We play cricket in the ground. Sentence number 2. Okay, sentence number 1 is not a passive sentence. This is an active sentence. I am going to convert that active sentence into passive sentence in sentence number 2. मैदान में क्रिकेट खेली जाती है हमारे ज़रिए. Cricket is played by us in the ground. You can see that in Urdu sentence I have written हमारे ज़रिए under the brackets. Same as in English sentence I have written by us under the brackets. The reason why, because in passive sentence we rarely use agent, which means by plus doer of action. Otherwise we use passive sentence without that agent. If you are asked in examination or in your test that you have to mention the agent in passive sentence, then you will use by and whatever the doer of action there is. Sentence number 3, schools or colleges सितंबर में खोले जाएंगे. In this sentence you can see schools and colleges will be reopened in September. उर्दू के जुमले में देखें आप अगर तो स्कूल और कॉलेजेस सितंबर में खोले जाएंगे. इसमें डूअर ऑफ एक्शन मेंशन नहीं है कि कौन खोलेगा. ऑब्वियसली अंडरस्टूड है कि गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस सितंबर में खोलेगी, तो हमने इसको पैसिव के सेंटेंस में यूज़ किया है उर्दू में भी कि स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस सितंबर में खोले जाएंगे. इन इंग्लिश स्कूल्स एंड कॉलेजेस विल बी रीओपन्ड इन सितंबर. You can identify a passive sentence with the help of the subject given in the sentence. यहाँ जुमले में subject दिया हुआ है schools और colleges. अब आप देख सकते हैं कि इस जुमले में schools और colleges कोई काम अंजाम नहीं दे रहे हैं. स्कूल और कॉलेजेस डूअर ऑफ एक्शन नहीं है बल्कि रिसीवर ऑफ एक्शन है. खोलने का अमल स्कूल्स और कॉलेजेस पर होगा. जब रिसीवर ऑफ एक्शन जुमले का सब्जेक्ट बन जाए तो ला महाला वो सेंटेंस पैसिव का होता है. सेंटेंस नंबर 4, हमें ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के ज़रिए पढ़ाया जा रहा है. यहाँ पर इस सेंटेंस में सब्जेक्ट क्या दिया हुआ है बेटे? जी, हमें यहाँ पर सब्जेक्ट है, लेकिन ये जो सब्जेक्ट है ये डूअर नहीं है. अगर सब्जेक्ट डूअर होता है तो सेंटेंस एक्टिव सेंटेंस होता है. अगर सब्जेक्ट रिसीवर ऑफ एक्शन होता है तो ला महाला जुमला पैसिव सेंटेंस का होता है. हमें ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के ज़रिए पढ़ाया जा रहा है. हम पर काम हो रहा है पढ़ाने का. पढ़ाया जा रहा है हमें, तो ये पैसिव सेंटेंस हो गया. और टेंस आइडेंटिफाई करिए कौन सा है. हमें ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के ज़रिए पढ़ाया जा रहा है. And a continued action in the present. So whenever there is a continued action in the present, that is called present continuous. So this is present continuous sentence. अब जब हम रूल अप्लाई करते हैं तो प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूअस के पैसिव सेंटेंस में हमें पता है वी यूज इज बीइंग, एम बीइंग और आर बीइंग एज ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब्स एंड वी ऑलवेज यूज पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म ऑफ मेन वर्ब. मेन वर्ब क्या है? पढ़ाना, टीच. उसकी पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म है टॉट. सो वी आर बीइंग टॉट थ्रू ऑनलाइन क्लासेस. हमें ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के जरिए पढ़ाया जा रहा है. सेंटेंस नंबर 5, सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है. यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई दिस सेंटेंस. सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है. सड़क यहाँ पर सब्जेक्ट है और ये सड़क कोई एक्शन परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही, यानी कि सब्जेक्ट डूअर ऑफ एक्शन नहीं है बल्कि सब्जेक्ट पर काम हो रहा है, रिसीवर ऑफ एक्शन है. सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है तो मरम्मत करने का काम सड़क पर हुआ है, सब्जेक्ट पर हुआ है. जब सब्जेक्ट रिसीवर ऑफ एक्शन है तो लामहला सेंटेंस क्या होगा? पैसिव वॉइस होगा. वेरी गुड, एक्सेलेंट. सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है. सेकंड थिंग, आइडेंटिफाई द टेंस. सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है. व्हाट टेंस इज दिस? सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है. यस, अ कंप्लीट एक्शन इन द प्रेजेंट. दिस सेंटेंस, सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है, belongs to present perfect. So in English we will apply the rules of present perfect. In present perfect, in passive voice, we use has been or have been as auxiliary verbs. The road is a singular subject, so we will use has been here. The road has been, and third form of repair is repaired. The road has been repaired. सड़क की मरम्मत की जा चुकी है. सेंटेंस नंबर 6, लोगों को बुनियादी सहूलियात मुहैया की जानी चाहिए. यू कैन सी हियर लोगों को. लोग यहाँ पर सब्जेक्ट है, लोग काम नहीं कर रहे, लोगों को मुहैया की जानी है, लोगों पर काम हो रहा है. बुनियादी सहूलत लोगों को मुहैया की जानी चाहिए, तो लोग यहाँ पर सब्जेक्ट एज रिसीवर ऑफ एक्शन है. दिस इज द सेंटेंस ऑफ पैसिव वॉइस. आइडेंटिफाई द टेंस. मुहैया की जानी चाहिए. Does this sentence belong to any one of these 12 tenses we have studied? Yes, it doesn't belong to tenses, it belongs to modal auxiliary verbs. You remember in the earlier classes you people have studied about modal auxiliary verb, which are can, could, will be able to, should have to, had to, may, might, and so on and so forth. This sentence belongs to should as modal auxiliary verb. मुहैया की जानी चाहिए. People should be provided basic facilities. The passive sentence is this. People should be provided basic facilities. My dear students, as I recommended you in lecture number 2 in the series of translation, that you people have to do this work either in your rough register or in your fair register, but I recommended you to do it in your fair register so that you can retrieve this work in time of need when you want to go through the sentences, you want to review the passive sentences, or you want to review the translation at the time of examination preparation. So if you do it in your fair register, you will do it in your grammar section of your register, and you will complete your work, the previous work and this work also. We will meet again as we have discussed tenses, simple and compound and complex sentences. We have discussed passive sentences today. And now we will discuss conditional sentences in the next lecture. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. Wait for my lecture to upload. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.